You love everything home and interior design. Now SoCo, Southern California's destination for interior design inspiration, is bringing you another binge-worthy series. We'll talk to the true masters of design to give you the tips and resources you need to master your own domain. I'm Carrie Freitas, and this is SoCo's Masters of Design. Welcome to SoCo's Masters of Design. We're here today to talk kitchen trends, and of course the first place that came to mind to talk kitchen trends is Roomscapes. They don't just do kitchens, but when they do kitchens, they do them like nobody else does. And I'm here with two of their staff designers, Julie Wilkins and Tamara Stratton. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for coming.
And as I was joking around, and I'm going to use the joke again in this video right now, when we talk kitchen trends, the only trend going on in my kitchen is me eating entirely too much on a daily basis. I know that's not a design trend, so I'm here to talk to the experts, Julie and Tamara of Roomscapes, to get the real story. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we're obviously standing, like very organically, like we always stand, for the camera. So let's talk a little bit about, I know we're in a world where there's not one kitchen for everybody. I mean, everyone's life is different. Their demands of their kitchen are different. But I know it's also fair to say that there are some trends happening, right? Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening right now in the kitchen space? Like, what are we seeing that's different maybe from last year, a couple of years ago?
I think one of the biggest things we're seeing that's different is that we're lightening the space up quite a bit by limiting upper cabinets, wall cabinets, giving more open wall space. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I think it's about opening up the space. Less clutter, more counter space, and just a feeling of lightness.
So we're talking about lightening up, which sounds very appealing to me. A lot of people tell me I should probably lighten up a little bit, so maybe I need to start with the kitchen. So we're in this kitchen where you've been talking about lightening up. So we're seeing here a good example of less cabinetry. But the cabinetry, more wall space, which is great. So tell me a little bit about, with the wall space, what are people using as finishes for the increased wall space?
Hoods.
Okay.
Hoods is focal point. Textured tiles, artisan tiles. Absolutely. And we're doing a lot of like open glass, almost like an iron cabinet with glass shelves.
Or bistro shelving, if you're familiar.
I love a bistro moment. Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to live in Paris, so I can pretend. Little touch, right?
A little touch.
So you're saying some iron and glass coming in to give you that feeling of openness, right? And transparency or translucency. But the warmth of a wood cabinet is back.
Yeah, well, we see a lot of that because we've been so gray, blue, white. And now we're seeing what's been out for so long, the natural wood tones coming in to warm the space up. We're getting a little bit warmer. You still can have your white kitchen, but you're going to bring in those natural texture elements and warmth in the wood accents, whether it be on the floor, a little countertop space, or in the island wood.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Lighter and natural woods.
Lighter and natural. I want to take a quick diversion, and then I want to follow up on a couple of things I really wanted to talk to you about today. So I'm so glad we have you here at Roomscapes. As far as I know there's a trend kind of towards pops of color in the kitchen too. So this is one of the trends. I think you're seeing organic and the more wall space and the wood. But are you also seeing some fun pops of color still? Is that still happening where people want like a bright, maybe a smeg like refrigerator, or they want like a really amazing range that's a different color?
Absolutely.
Occasionally. Occasionally they'll be brave enough and bold enough to step up to that.
I think that the colors are, we're also seeing a lot of people being real bold with black kitchens or very close to
colors.
black because you have that open wall space to balance it out. So now you're not having all dark cabinets up and low and tall. The walls are open, so we can add that light tile, that light, airiness and balance off the dark black cabinets.
It's all about the contrast, bringing in contrast. So the dark with the light, the smooth with the matte. Lots of matte finishes are coming through in different materials that weren't available before.
So it's like a balance, right?
Yes,
like
it's the balance, the yin and the yang of the kitchen.
You gotta have that.
Right.
When we talked about the lightening up trend, and we talked about it maybe relating to other parts of the home, right? And you talked about, which I thought was so dead on, that the kitchen and the great room have become in a lot of homes one and the same big space, right? And we talked about islands kind of sometimes being the demarcation or the transitional element to the great room space. Are islands, I'm assuming, still a big deal?
Yes. Going strong.
Yes. Yeah, they work.
Stronger and stronger, bigger and better.
Bigger and better.
They help to keep the space open, give you a work center and storage, but it's a gathering place.
Yes.
You know, it becomes part of that living space.
So still seating at Islands.
Absolutely.
You're still seating
Definitely
for dining or
single level,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, good.
And
Okay, that's good to know.
And also, in addition to the island, though, larger gathering areas,
Okay.
but not in the formal sense, right there in the great room. So you have the gathering point of the island for a few people or hors d'oeuvres or whatever, but then you also have that gathering table, very casual.
Oh, I love that. So you're seeing that too. So there's going to be other dining in the kitchen aside from just stool and island dining.
Yeah,
Okay, so
everyone-
a
bringing
breakfast
everything
area or
together.
a dining area.
And bringing everyone together too.
I love that
as well.
which we've missed a lot.
Yes,
Right. Yes.
right.
Yes,
And the
exactly.
island seating is great and it's very functional. And but I think people also do want, they don't want that exclusively.
Correct.
They want to have a larger
table
gatherings.
together.
Yeah,
For
and
occasions where they can really
play
spread out
games
and
as
have-
we did for the last
Right,
year.
exactly. Or do puzzles.
Puzzles.
While I eat my cookies and do a puzzle
Right,
in my
right,
kitchen
right.
that I need to redo because I've got just nothing but cabinets. Can we talk about the pantry before we close? So I had asked you about all the small appliances. I know that during this pandemic period, I've gathered a lot of ancillary appliances, which now have taken over my counter space in the kitchen, like a multi-cooker and an air fryer and a toaster oven and all sorts of things, right? So what are people doing with those appliances? What are you seeing as far as storage or, arrangements for those appliances?
Well, it's interesting because you asked it first, are you putting them in appliance garages? And really, no. What we find, if the space allows, which is true of anything, is that walk-in pantry space, which almost becomes like a dirty kitchen, and it's very functional. It's cute, it's open, it's walk-in, and you can keep those appliances that you use there, and it's kind of your gadget center, where the actual living space is in the kitchen that's open to your great room. There isn't quite as much of that.
It's tucked away.
Yes.
But very
Very
convenient.
But easily accessed.
Yeah,
Keeps
right?
everything
accessed right in the
nice and
pantry.
clean, right.
Yeah.
So given the space, walk-in pantry for appliances, as well as, of course, dry goods and all the food stuff. Yeah, okay, good. And then my last question is open shelving still a thing? I mean, I know we talked a little bit about the bistro approach to it with iron and glass shelves, right? Is open shelving still popular in general, bistro style or not?
It's still there, but it's transitioning to something new and fresh. And I think it's those iron and glass cabinetry, upper cabinetry that's, still you see into them, but there's, just something new and fresh. in
Yes.
that, and that's what
But
we're
I-
always looking for.
And I think we've all liked that lightness and openness. I
Yes,
mean, those
definitely.
the first floating shelves came and they took away so many of the upper wall cabinets to
Yes,
lighten
that
the
was a
space.
breath of fresh air, like you said, lightening up. That was the first evolution of it, right?
And now it's just kind of people go, well, what can I do that's a little
what's
different,
next?
a little bit more interesting?
Well, and I love that at Roomscapes, and you do full design, not just kitchens, anything else really that you'd want. And I love that you all are pushing the envelope too, right? So this is where I come, Roomscapes at SoCo, to find out what's new and what's fresh, because this is where it's happening, this is where it's born, and you couldn't have a better, set of designers than Julie and Tamara to help you with your kitchen remodel or whatever remodeling or building projects that you could be looking to do. So thank you for helping me learn more about kitchen trends.
It was fun.
And I would like to say that we like to make it easy, something that's
good.
hard and complex for people. There's
Yes.
so many moving parts, so many decisions, but it's our joy to make it easy for people.
And fun.
I love that. I wish you did all sorts of things besides designing. I could use a lot of things easier in my life, so I got to keep that in mind. Well, thank you again from Roomscapes. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you got some great inspiration for your kitchen.